Okay, David, how are you, my friend?
I am good, brother. Yourself?
Really good to see you. I usually ask people that I speak to in the UK, how's the weather?
He's actually fucking pretty good, actually, bro.
Oh, fuck.
You can take a up smile, mate, and shove up your ass.
Oh, that's no good. That's no good. You've ruined my fun. Okay. Well, look, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy man. You're up to a lot of stuff. A guy who've obviously I've been connected with recently, James
Yeah.
Shinney, who's I know is a guy that you're kind of friendly with as well. He pointed me towards yourself, said you're a great human being. I've been watching what you're doing, and you're a fucking legend. So
Thank
I'm really appreciate you coming on because obviously what we're trying to do is talk to authentic men who've been through the fucking ringer, and hopefully by sharing our stories we can help other men out there struggling. So thank you very much, my friend.
you. No, I appreciate it for allowing me to come on as well, bro.
All right. So, what I like to do is just understand who little David was. What made this fucking this energetic man in front of me today. So yeah, what created this person in front of me.
Little David was an energetic, little angry little dude, bro. You know what I mean? Lovely little kid, had long blonde hair, bro, down to my freaking ass. I was that, I didn't know how to like, as a child, my father was never really there, bro, like fucking most families. So I didn't know how to express emotions like anger, fear, stuff like that. That dads really should freaking like how show us how to control properly with emotional intelligence. I never really had that as a child. It was always I'd always lash out because I didn't know how to control that. But I was a good little kid. I was an angry little kid. And do you know what I mean with the things that I've been through? But I think I did. I was all right, bro.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I know a little bit about your
Yeah.
powerful story, and I've heard some courageous stuff that you've spoken about. If you wouldn't mind sharing a bit of, some of you. I always say people's biggest pain is their biggest pain, and that
Uh,
is what affects them. But some people have, have gone through a lot, and you, my friend, have been through a lot. So it's okay, share whatever you would like to share, but just to give people an insight of what your little kind of child had to put up with, little David,
yeah.
gives a bit of an understanding of what you did go through as a child.
Yes, family kind of set up. My mum was Italian, fiery woman, absolutely freaking amazing. Maria Grady Smith. But she come from a Catholic upbringing, but she was also an orphan. She also was abused as well. Like I said, generational trauma just fucking pass on. So she was quite fluent with men, shall we say. Do you know what I mean? Six kids, five different dads. Fair play to her. But she, until you gradually get older, you don't realize she was seeking something in these men from the trauma that she was going through. Do you know what I mean? That father figure, that family. And she always chose the wrong men. I think a lot of people that go through trauma choose the wrong people. They normally choose the people that have actually abused them with their personality and their character traits. So these men, some of them were okay, some of them were quite abusive, mentally, physically, emotionally. I've seen my mum get battered, beaten, raped, dragged upstairs, threatened with blowtorches, and she got involved with drink and drugs. Yeah, so I was around about 4 years old when I went into the care system. But before that, my mum left my stepdad because my dad was very abusive. Um, the earliest memory I can remember, bro, and they always say sometimes it's the memory that you can kind of keep holding because of emotions. That's why we hold on to memories, is because of the emotion. And it was always the memory of my stepdad dragging my mum upstairs, battering her and just like physically, sexually abusing her. And then like my mum, you're from England anyway. Do you remember the old Ford Escorts, bro? The
Yeah,
old
yeah.
I can just remember the bright blue Ford Escort dragging us in the car. Then we freaking escaped from there.
How old were you then?
I must have been about 4 years old, bro.
Like, that's
Must,
like that's like stealing your childhood straight away, isn't it? Really?
yeah, because you think you're in a loving household, which I thought I wasn't. I think we are. I think every household does start with love. But if the parents can't deal with the trauma, it's going to be passed on to the siblings. If the siblings can't pass on the trauma, it's passed on to the little kids as well. Do you know what I mean? So we moved, me and my mum, my little sister. Um, and then it spiraled quite quickly. My mum got into a heavy drink, became an alcoholic very, very quickly, very abusive. Not intentionally. It's just, man, she was an amazing woman when she weren't drinking. The most amazing food, cuddles. But when she was drinking, bro, like, yeah, you ain't going fucking near her.
I think yeah, I've been in and around certain people who, they just become like they become possessed. You know, some people. You know, I think they call it spirits for a reason, right? It's like people become possessed. Like the eyes change, and you're like, the person that I love and cared for previously is no longer in that vessel. You know, I've been there. It's not a good sight, right? How did
Yeah.
you deal with that as a kid?
Do you know what I mean? I don't think you do deal with it. You don't know how to do it. You're just a kid. You don't know how to emotionally um, convey yourself in the right way in construction. Like, you should never grow up on eggshells. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want to open my door. I always lock myself away. Used to put my door against the bed because when she had a drink, that was it, bro. Do you know what I mean? And not just that, she'd allow men into the house that would physically abuse her and try and abuse us. Do you know what I mean? It was horrific, bro. I remember like one time I was in Spon End in Coventry, and I've got these tier houses, they're big. We were on the second floor. And I remember like three guys in the house and stuff, and it was just getting weird, like they were fucking drinking. And then my mum passed out, and one of the guys got a blowtorch. Remember the blowtorches back in the day, bro? Do you know what I mean? He got them then put me in the room. He locked the fucking door and he got put the blowtorch on and shouted at my mum like because my mum had
Oh,
like no the dole money back in the day and trying to fucking blowtorch my face. He was like, "I'll fucking blowtorch your kid's face if you don't give me the money and stuff." I just remember that. I'm just like, what kid at 4 year old goes through that, bro?
wow.
Do you know what I mean? It's just mad. Then obviously social services got involved now and again because we were being neglected because we weren't turning up to school. We were turning up to school dirty, late, not really there, lashing out. Then I became a pretty angry kid, bro. Like anyone that touched me, bro, like they'd get it. I don't care how old he was. Like I'd bite them, chew them, anything I could. Yeah.
Understandably, and that continued, did it for several years, many years.
Yeah, like around about a year because we moved quite a lot of houses at the time. We're being relocated quite a bit. And then at Sponheim, that was our last house. And I remember coming home from school because my mum didn't pick me up. Well, she didn't pick us up from school. It was about a 5 minute walk from the school. And this 4 or 5 years old, you shouldn't be walking back home from school, bro. But it's back in the day, innit? Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. And walking back home, I remember like there was a car outside. It was one of the old Vauxhall Astras, bro. No, the fucking box ones, bro.
Yeah.
I even remember the social services name, the guy Mike Larissy, his name was, and he came up and he was like, "Oh," I was like, "Where's my mum?" She's like, "Oh, she's just ill at the minute. She's at hospital. She's not very well at the minute. We're gonna have to take you somewhere safe." Last time I see my mum, bro, just bags, bin bags. I remember a little teddy that I had, like a boom box, um, and went
Oh,
into the foster home, and that was it, bro. Didn't fucking know what was happening. Like, he just went with these strangers. It's the last time I seen my mum for a long time. Um,
what was going through your head as a child? I can't, you know, 'cause that's as big as it can get. It's complete, like all your safety, is complete. Your whole world is just kind of disintegrated. How did you? What was going through your head as a child?
I was used to it really, bro. I was always passed around as a child. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't the abnormal. Do you know what I mean? In the military, we used to kind of conduct ourselves like the abnormal outside the normal. And it was just like I was always passed around anyway. Look, mum had random people anyway, so it wasn't really about like go and stay with Stacey. We don't Stacey 5 minutes. Like I'd stay at her house or this and that when she was doing drink and drugs. So it wasn't not the abnormal for me, brother. So then, but then it just changed when I went to Wood End in Coventry, where social service was at the time, just bin bags, and then we'd taken like some temporary foster homes at the time. And my sister got took out of care quite quickly because her dad was still present. Um, he was a really good dad, to be fair. Like, but it's he. That's hard, bro. The only bit of comfort I had was my little sister. She's like a couple of years old, 2, 3 years older than me. That was took away from me, and I just remember him pulling up his Mercedes, coming to the house, her driving away. I just fucking stayed on the curb, and I was still being abused in the house. So I was. Do you know what I mean? Physically, it was just you didn't know what. Yeah, you just still breaks my heart now because I still haven't healed from that inner child thing. It's shit, bro. That a kid just goes everything's just took away from you. Any sign of like security is gone. Do you know what I mean?
That's mate. I feel for you. What what happened? What happened next for you? Because you know that would. You look think about how an adult would process that. That would break, any adult, anything. But as a child, 4, 5, 6 years of age, to be standing in front of me today and doing the work you are today, it's very, very impressive. It's very courageous. It's very, the resilience. But how did you like zone out through this period of your life? How did you get through the days?
I think sometimes well, my thing was just lashing out. Do you know what I mean? But you got to think predators, people that manipulate you, they don't start physically first. They will mentally break you down, especially as a child. They broke me down mentally. Like, I remember back then, I didn't really see it as like what they were doing to me was wrong, but it was like, even I had a phone call with my mum every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. She had to go to the phone box back then, mate. Fucking phone boxes. You had to go phone box, put 10p, 20p in. It'd count you down, and it was always 6 o'clock. And if she was 30 seconds or a minute late, bro, yeah, I could hear them on the phone. You're not speaking to your son. You're late. Fuck off. Put the phone down. And I was crying. Like, I haven't spoken to my mum in weeks, bro. And they were like, you get to your fucking bedroom before we go upstairs and shit like that. That's just mental abuse, bro, constantly. And I was telling the social services, and then they were saying, no, he's just chatting shit. He's lying. Like, do you know what I mean? He spoke to his mum. My mum was just like, no. And like, they wouldn't believe my mum because she was probably drunk. They wouldn't believe me because I was a child. It was just constant abuse. It's a paycheck for some people. I constantly spent most of my childhood in my room, bro. Probably 10 years in my room because I was that kind of person. Like, the room was safe for me. I'd block it off.
You've experienced the kind of the that this sounds like the worst of the system throughout that. As have you was there anything good about that system, or was it just, what you were on your own,
Yeah.
meant to be protected from, what society has put in front as to look
Yeah.
after children. What would you describe it as?
It's just, it's like you say, anything to do with a kid and you call it a system. You know what I mean? It's not a care system at all. I don't know where the fuck they get care from, bro. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be a high percentage of people who get abused and then maybe physically, emotionally. They're not given the right things. Um, I just never felt safe as a child, really. Never. Never. I can't remember. There's only one time really I felt safe was a woman, which I've spoken about before. One of my teachers at Courthouse Green Primary School in Coventry, Miss Halford. Um, she's the only person that taught me how to hug. Do you know the Disney hug?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the first time I've ever felt safety, bro. Like she hugged me and would not let go. And it's just
Oh,
that
bless him.
I remember. I can never forget it, bro.
Bless her.
Yeah, and she'd probably be dead and gone now. Thinking now I was like 5, 6 years old. She must have been in her late 30s back then. Do you know what I mean? But
And you
yeah,
felt the love and care.
yeah. Just I've never felt that connection from physical touch. That is good. And it was just like I remember her blonde hair, Miss Half. I remember that like the gene. Do you know what I mean? You remember stuff from the emotional parts of it, and like even school was shit for me, bro, because from from nursery going to primary school, I had to have a helper with my anger issues. Not realistically, I was being abused and I didn't know how to control my emotions. And I was dyslexic, had ADHD. Do you know what I mean? Struggled with communication, struggled with kids because I wasn't around kids. As soon as I went to my foster parents or home, I'd just run to my room, close the door. I wouldn't really eat. Do you know what I mean? If I'd eat, I'd just go downstairs in the bin and try and eat at night or something like that because I didn't want to be near them. Do you know what I mean? So I through primary school, secondary school, and leaving, even college, bro, I had someone with me constantly sat next to me because that's not a childhood. It's not even being a teenager. Do you know what I mean? I was always segregated. I always felt like the opposite to everyone else.
And were you fighting in school and stuff as well? Were you kind of?
I was a little bastard, bro. But I look at it now, I'm just like, fair play to you, little Dave. Do you know what I mean? I didn't stand for shit. Kid fucking used to like do anything, bam. Do you know what I mean? I like to learn from my age to fight. Do you know what I mean? I never learned from an age to be comforted to kind hands. I never learned the way I'm teaching my kids now at nursery, all about kind hands, be kind. Like, how can you teach a kid that when anything that's happened to me isn't kind?
Mate, you're in fight or flight. You're in survival every day.
Yeah, constantly.
So 100%. So, what age you kind of think what age are you at now on this journey that you're describing to me?
I'd say around about 5, 6. Um, and I went to a couple of temporary foster placements. Never really got a permanent one for a while. Went to a place in Wisteria called Wisteria Canal, Wisteria Lodge in Coventry. It's been smashed down now. It's not there because of sex crimes that happened in the 80s and 90s. And there's a lot people actually reached out from my previous podcast saying they were there when I was there,
Oh
and they
wow,
yeah, and they gave evidence of the sexual crimes that were happening there.
wow.
Um, it was just a hub for paedophiles, bro. Simple as that. It was you know Tracy Beaker.
Tracy
You ever heard of
Beaker.
Yeah, it's like a program. Ever heard of it?
Is it kids program?
Yeah, it's a kids program,
Yeah,
but they're
yeah,
in the
yeah.
like they're in a halfway house.
Yes,
So that
yes, yes, yes. I do remember.
yeah, it's like that, but not as good as that. So it's like that, literally kids that have not got really temporary foster parents, they've got permanent foster parents, or they've just been took out from their mother or father and they're put there. And it's like a little prison for kids because I can always remember it. Like you go inside, there was like a straight corridor. You'd have like the living room, the functioning room, whatever you want to call it, where the TV and you congregate down the bottom end where the staff were. You go upstairs. It was just like prison doors. It reminds me of just the army, bro. There's like the doors on there, there was locks on there, and that's where the kids would like stay at night and stuff. And I remember like mine had a little hole in it. I remember having a boom box where like you had to put the fucking wire at the back of the radio to get freaking stuff. And I was just there, bro, and it's just that's where my kind of it got kind of worse. That's where I got kind of sexually and physically abused as a kid, um, by some of the staff, by the kids that were there, because we were integrating with teenagers. I was like 5, 6 years old, and you had teenagers that were like 15, 16, sometimes a little bit older. Do you know what I mean? And they're sexually active, and they were getting me to do things like take off my clothes, touch me here, do this, do that, embarrassing me. Do you know what I mean? And then you're trying to tell the adults, and they were pushing it off, and then they were doing it to other people in there as well.
Fuck me. It's it's the worst type of crimes, and it's almost like torture. So you're putting children into this position of daily, well, it is daily torture, sexually,
Yeah,
physically, mentally. It's fucking
yeah,
like being in a prison camp. It
yeah,
sounds like.
yeah, definitely. Not just like at that age, because you can't comprehend what sexual activity is and what it is and what it should be, and it should be love, it should be touch, it should be feeling, it should be comfort. I just gradually started to think it was the normal. Do you know what I mean? Me being touched or people
That's
did
the
to me.
program.
Yeah, yeah. And that really fucked my head up, mate. Like as I gradually got older, certain parts of me, I was just like, "Fuck it, am I gay?" Like because men have touched me, or it really fucks you up, bro. And it's fucked up all my relationships. I'm not good in relationships. I'm really working out. I've been working out years. But it's a hard process. It's still going to be um a dark process, I think. But I'm getting there, bro.
Good on you, my brother. Good on you. And when you talk around the relationship side of things there for you, so you're currently not in a relationship. You've got two children from a previous relationship, I assume. Do you say two children?
Yeah, I've got two beautiful kids. Yeah,
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I'm really, really, really glad that you've got that. And so what is it in the relationships then? What's really followed you that you're struggling with to to build a lasting relationship? What's the kind of block there?
the block is safety. I think it doesn't matter how good people treat you; they're always going to treat you wrong, and that's my internal kind of narrative. I think I put them into myself. I had a lovely family, bro. Supposed to get married, two beautiful kids, story Navy, absolutely incredible kids, house, great jobs, businesses, and then just like self sabotage. You know it, bro. Just comes in, just like yeah. I always end up getting in a relationship. They're always going to fuck me over anyway, David. You know what I mean? In your subconscious mind, they're going to fuck you over. You might as well just fucking hurt yourself now and give the pain up and then just go for it because our body is known to go through the same emotions and chemicals that we've always gone through. Do you know what I mean? And this is why the abusers go back to the abuser, or you always go back to the freaking cocaine, the drugs, and the alcohol because it gives you that kind of comfort. And pain was that was for me, bro. Really, like I just
And
don't
have
know.
you and if you now you think you've worked out, are you starting to come to terms with this? Are you thinking, are you setting yourself up for success moving forward in a relationship? Do you think you've kind of, is it still a big, mountain to climb, or are you kind of starting to get there? Because I know you're doing a hell of a lot of internal work. So how
Yeah,
are you getting on with that?
I'm doing massive shadow work constantly myself daily. Been doing that for years, bro. And yeah, how I'm getting on with it is learning and educating myself about attachment issues, love languages, how to deal from trauma. There's an amazing guy, obviously, Dr. Mate. Gabe Mate. He's like a trauma specialist. He's helped me phenomenally, like reading his books, educating him on his course and stuff, how to deal with the trauma. And it's learning what my attachment issues are, my love languages, what I want in a relationship, because you can't you can't be with someone that's not going to give you the love. Yes, they may love you, but if they can't love you how you need to be loved, it's not going to work.
Yeah,
Not.
it's really interesting you say that. And the reason I paused on that one is because within the work that I'm doing, we kind of we talk about the five pillars, and one of the pillars is love and relationships for men. And a lot of men don't look at that. They just kind of stumble into relationships. They don't understand themselves. They don't know how to communicate. And a lot of the relationships are built on jelly, as I say, rather than pouring the cement in. And the first, we asked four questions in that pillar. And the first question is, do you understand your non-negotiable values in a relationship? And like most men go, I think so, kind of, maybe. And then the second one is, have you had that values discussion with your partner? And it's like 95% of men haven't had it. So then they're going into relationships and they're wondering around why there's this 3 or 4 year cycle, and then they fucking go pop out, fuck it, they go in, they find the next one, probably similar pattern comes in and they go through. So I'm really intrigued at how you're, not only processing some of your kind of traumas, but also learning, because obviously a lot of men who look at, the likes of yourself, big strong fella, going through it, you're now really achieving stuff, helping other men, but we all struggle. I've struggled. I'm 48 years of age now, and it wasn't until I was 46 that I really started to understand myself and ask myself the questions: Who am I? And when I come into this next relationship, what means something to me? What is fucking Ian's like non-negotiables? What do I want to do? What do I want from a partner? And how am I going to hold the boundary early? And I only did it at 46 years of age, and it set myself up. I'm in the best relationship I've ever had, but I was going around these cycles. So, do you encounter this? Have you encountered this? And I know you're helping a lot of men. Are you seeing? Because I see the love and relationships pillar. A lot of men are like in their own prison because they're in relationships that are fucked. They don't know why, and like it really brings them to the lowest point when if they're struggling anyway and they're in a fucked up relationship. It's like a little prison. So I'm just interested. Do you find that? And have you got any kind of examples of what people are doing in that space?
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest things for me going forward with relationships is energy and character. I always say to people, stop fucking matching energy. It's complete and utter bullshit. All they're trying to do is marry. A lot of people, especially I think people that have been through things like me, we attach ourselves and we attract. People say you attract who you are. That's complete and utter fucking bullshit. Because you'll always attract the narcissist. You'll always attract the cunt that wants to come into your life, grab your energy and fuck off. Like people have just got this in their concept. Like if I'm happy and positive, I'm going to attract loads of people. No, you're going to attract the people that want your fucking energy, brother.
The energy vampires.
Exactly. You've got to be so, like you say before, which was really good, brother, is your non-negotiables. I have non-negotiables. I get called toxic because of my boundaries. I'm like, are you mad? This is my boundary. You stick to it.
But I bet you in the past, because I've had this as well, because, you know, part of when I've been through shit, right? And I used to party, do all the stuff in the UK, go bananas, this, that, and the other, benders at weekends, all that. Look at myself in the mirror, is this it? Considering what the fuck am I doing in this world, right? All of the shit. But I've been in relationships, and my one pillar was always health and fitness. I
Mm.
always went to fucking gym. I always, before I'd done inner work, before I even knew anything about, I used to think meditation, gratitude, all this was woo woo, right? But my health and fitness pillar saved me in my lowest time. People wouldn't even know that it's got really dark for me at times because I just, put the face on there, but it has. But this health and fitness pillar kept me going. But I'd be in relationships and I was a non-negotiable, but I found sometimes that women would project onto me because of this. They would
Yeah.
like, oh, I train again, or you're eating like this, and I'd get caught up in this thing, and I'm thinking, is it me? You know what I mean? But when you actually understand yourself, and you kind of say, no, 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 this means something to me. It's in my DNA. This is how I operate. And
Yeah.
actually, when I go into a relationship, I actually want someone who's kind of gonna work with me in this, and that's a discussion I had. And so it's really interesting you say that because I've had that in the past. And you're not fucking toxic, mate. You've just got standards, and you'll have a success equation to what makes you fucking tick, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know, I think the biggest thing, brother, is say whatever you're dating and stuff like that, you're getting to know someone, which I tell people, I said, you're coming into my life. I'm not coming into yours. People don't realize my boundaries keep me sane. They keep me a father. If I come away from my boundaries and my non-negotiables, I will commit suicide. I will fucking kill someone. I need to make sure I'm doing these disciplines every single day that I've been through, whether it's getting up in the morning, praying, drinking good water, going to the gym, doing exercise, going for a walk. Then I can go to everyone else, help everyone out. At the end of the day, who am I helping? Seek Jesus, bring Jesus into my life, pray. That needs that, and people just like, you're so just like, from when you get up to this, that keeps me alive. That's my conveyor belt. Like, if I try and change my life to it to be near yours, I will be depressed because I've got like BPD, ADHD. I struggle with my emotions, so I have to really regulate my emotions a lot more than most people. But I see it as a superpower, bro. When people, I say to people, when you're happy, I'm fucking ecstatic, euphoria, like it's amazing. But when I'm sad, I'm very suicidal. So I know what I need to put into place. Like your foundations are absolutely key. A lot of people come to me in crisis. I can't coach people that come to me in crisis because every time I've tried to coach someone, they don't have the foundations. I said, I need to build you from the foundations. It's not the destination where you're going. What are your foundations? What are you doing mentally, physically, emotionally to be better? Like the simple things in life give you everything.
I couldn't agree more. What you I think most people, most men, most humans don't understand that we can, although we are bespoke, right? We actually have, I believe, as human beings, we have some simple things that if we do them, you're gonna stay away from that naughty step. If you look after yourself and you train and you do this, you'll feel good. If you meditate, and people think meditation's that's you giving time to listen to yourself, clear away shit, breath work, clear emotion. You will start to understand things about yourself better that you never fucking did. Taking time on your love and relationships to hold your boundaries like you're doing at the beginning so you don't go into this toxic fucking shit. All of these things find purpose in your way. There's some simple stuff that will keep you, if you give low as like, I have a rating of 1 to 100, and when people get to like below 15, I would say that's the risk step. But in life, if you can, if you follow some simple basics, you're going to be above 50% of fulfillment, which is going to keep you away from that risk step, which suicidality is going through the fucking roof. And I believe people don't realize that there's actually a lot of simple shit in there to have a foundation. Would you agree with that?
100%. Breathwork, like you said, is bang on the money. Like everyone thinks our breathwork don't work. It's an involuntary thing, brother. Are you telling me breathwork? I'm just like people like some people. I say this to people, yeah. Some people are so stupid. If fucking breathing wasn't involuntary, you'd die because they forget to fucking do it, bro. And like it's so important how you breathe. I'm just like, right. For instance, I was speaking to one of my clients yesterday, and we were talking about breath work because she's come away from um, the things that naturally give her to regulate herself. I said to her, look at the army, for instance, yeah. It's being taught in obviously the special forces and the military how to breathe properly because you have to. A sniper has to breathe properly to hit the target. If he inhales at the wrong time, the rifle is going to move. It could be a couple of notches, and that could be 5, 10 meters out. When you control your breathing, you're going to hit the target. So when you could, that's what I say in life. When you control your breathing in life, no matter what you're doing, if you're going for a run, thinking you're in fight or flight because you're not breathing properly, you're breathing through your mouth. So, right, just go with me because I was a physical training instructor in the military as well. So I always try to talk about breath, control your breathing, in through your nose, out through your mouth when you're doing it. And when you can hold a conversation when you're in battle or running, you're controlling the situation. So take it into your life. If you're in a situation where you feel like you're chest breathing, you're up and down, you're in fight or flight. Just control yourself. Breathe through your right nostril. Control yourself. Do you know what I mean? If you people think you're a weirdo because you're just sat there like, let them think it.
But that's again, I couldn't agree more. And later I want to talk about something else which I hear you preaching about all the time, which is gratitude. I want to get into a bit of detail about that, but the people don't realize out there that breath work, it's scientifically, spiritually, everything. It's fucking gold. It's there for you, and it's there
What's
for you
the
anytime.
Bible, bro?
Yeah, it's like, and I say to people, if you haven't done it properly, say you haven't done breathwork. I've got this guy called Sandy Breathwork. He's on YouTube, and
Yeah.
I can do 10, 15, 30 minutes, an hour of like actual breathwork, different types. But like, there's this 15-minute one. I send it to people, and I say, you can't tell, just try that. Just try 15 minutes, and then tell me what you think. And when they try, they come back, and go, fucking hell, what was that? because they're convulsing, they're releasing, emotions, and then they realise, fuck, I felt so at peace at the end of that session. But most people, especially most men, they think it's a load of bullshit. They think it's woo woo, and they'll say it before they've even tried it, and they're missing a trick.
because they can't feel the pain. That's what a lot of men go to, and that's why we do physical exercise every day. I train. People say, "Do you know how to do?" I've probably trained every day, mate, for 4 years. I don't care. I've got tennis elbow in both elbows. I have to wear a
Yeah, join
fucking
the club. I'm just on the peptides.
exactly BBC. I have to do inject it every single day. Running, I fucking hate 'cause it kills me. I have to wear things on my big toe because I've got no cartilage in my feet. Do you know what I mean? Like every step is painful, but that's the point in life. You just need to keep going. If I stop, do you know what I mean? That's when a lot of people die. How many men die when they finish work within a couple of years? They've got no purpose. They die because they stop.
There's an amazing Jim Rowan thing about that. Jim Rowan, he's the guy who I think he coached Tony Robbins, and he's got like a funny montage where he talks around about the average. I think his average life is supposed to be 3 to 5 years after you retire, people die. So he has a joke about it. He goes, so never retire,
Yeah.
So, mate, there's a few things I want to get into. Um, but you mentioned there about, so you've been through all this, you've been through all this traumatic experience, sexually, physically, mentally as a child. You've been through the ringer, tough school, tough upbringing, and then obviously, as you touched on there, you went to the forces. So do you want to just briefly describe how you ended up there and what that was like for you?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll fill the gap between like my childhood to my teenage years. So went to school. I was kicked out of schools constantly, permanently expelled from most schools. There was one school I was allowed in. So I was living in Leicestershire at the time, near Hinckley. I had to go to a school in Coventry called Woodlands, a secondary school, because I was permanently expelled from my primary school about 6 months prior before I moved on to secondary school because I broke the head teacher's leg. She deserved it.
How did you do that?
I was just frustrated at school all the time. It's just, yeah, it was just frustration at time. Like my mum tried to come and see me at school. I couldn't see her. I hadn't seen her for weeks. Loads of shit happened. I ended up freaking kicking the head teacher down the steps and she ended up breaking her leg.
Wow.
Um, got permanently expelled. But I was always segregated, bro. But then going to secondary school when I was about 11, 12 years old, went to in the foster parent. I went to an all boys school and it was great for me realistically because I could get my anger out. Every day I was fighting. I was always fighting, bro. Always getting up to shit. Fucking hell, throwing chairs out of 10-story windows, climbing out windows, hanging out of there. Like I was just that. When teachers see me, they were just like, for fuck's sake. Like, yeah. But it's some of the best times of my life, bro. It was just like, it's just one of them. Then went to college. I actually converted to Islam when I was 16, um, which was a massive change for me in a positive way. Um, I was drug dealing at the time. I was selling weed across Birmingham and Coventry with my mate, and he was Muslim at the time. He pulled away from it. He was just like, I need to go on my deen, which is spiritual journey in Islam. He was like, come to a mosque with me, bro. I was just like, nah, bro, that life isn't for me. Do you know what I mean? Kept asking me and asking me, asking me. I seen little bits of changing in him. I had no one around me anyway, so I had nothing to do. I was just drug dealing. Um, I went to the mosque with him at Stone Centre Road in Coventry. Went there, went to go and see one of the mullahs. Happy Suleiman, his name was, and then conversation and then converted to Islam. Within about a month, started reading the Quran, and learning Arabic. I can pray in Arabic. I know Arabic.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, yeah. I got like it's me, mate. Like when I get focused on something, I was learning
You
Arabic
dial
every.
in.
Yeah, dial in, bro. Like I was reading the Quran, Surah 1 all the way through. Um, and then it just a twist happened like about 8, 9 months into it. I was at college at the time. I was living at my stepdad's because it was like we're in and out. I was in and out the care system at the time. I was staying at my stepdad's into care kind of thing. Um, and my mum lived around the corner. I started to get a bit of a relationship again with my mum. But then she became quite volatile again, quite angry. You take on the people around you. So like my brother and sister, my stepdad was like, you need to get a fucking way with her. She's venom. She's horrible. You shouldn't be saying that to like a 15-year-old kid, realistically. Do you know what I mean? Because they're very, I want not to easily manipulate. I want to say that because the things that I've been through, like my brother's telling me to do this. Oh, he must feel it. Realistically, it's toxic because you're just treating me how you think my mum is, and that's not fair. at the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you may have not got what your mum she may have done, but them times I'll never get back with my mum. It was about 6 months I didn't see my mum. I went to the mosque. I went to go and see one of the mullahs named, his name was, I think his name was Dawood as well, because my name is Dawood, which is David in Arabic.
Yeah.
He was speaking to me. He was just like, how do your mum and dad think about you changing to Islam and stuff? I said, look, I don't really speak to my mum. She's an alcoholic. She lives around the corner. I said, I haven't seen my dad since I was 3 years old. He said, I think you need to go and speak to your mum. Something just doesn't feel right. You don't really take that on. You're just like, no, I'm not doing that. You don't take that on. Freaking 2 days later, Wednesday night, I think it was, watching Footballers' Wives. Remember?
That was a belter.
Great program, mate. I think it was about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. You just hear the knock at the door, and that's police. I was fucking like trying to put my fucking weed into my bed. I was like, fuck, fuck, fuck. Knock the door. He's like, my dad, John, I call him my dad. John answered the door. He was like, oh, is David Smith there? So he's upstairs. What's he done? Instantly, what's he done? He was just like, I just want to pass on the message and your condolences that Marie Gretty Smith has passed away. I was at the top of the stairs over the balcony, bro. I was just like, you just can't comprehend that. Like, my mum's dead. Like, what the fuck? Like, and all I got, David, I said, yeah. Like, you could hear the tears in my eyes. He said, did you hear that? I was like, yeah. He said, you're right. I said, yeah. That was it. And then just fucking got my shoes on, bro. Ran to my mum's house. Furthest I've ever ran, did not stop. About 3, 4 miles. Knocked the door. My mum lived in like a 30 Cobden Street in Coventry. He's like knocking the door in Paradise. I was just knocking the door, looking to the letterbox. Couldn't see the 2 border collies that were there. My mum's dogs. Just couldn't see anything. She weren't there. And I was just, what? Gone. Like, my mum's dead. Just didn't know how to comprehend it at 16. I went back to the mosque, trying to seek some guidance and some comfort. And I never got that. And that's what I never got. It was Allah's testing you. He's took away your mum for a reason. That didn't sit right with me, bro. And that's where my conflict with Islam kind of started. I was in and out of it. I was still praying, still trying to get into it. I was staying at the mosque, mate, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, praying constantly, eating constantly with Afghanis and trying to learn Arabic. I couldn't get comfort, bro. It's like, what the fuck do I still feel like this? I know it's hard going through grief, but that was just a very painful part. Me and my stepdad fucking kind of broke the relationship. We never really had a great relationship. He's a great man, but he's had his own problems as well. We got into like a physical altercation. He started like to hit me, and I didn't have to deal with that. So I had to go homeless, and that's why I kind of was homeless for the next couple of years.
Fuck, just on that, Islam, because I know you're very in religious now, which I'd like to get into. But over the last maybe 3 or 4 years, I've found comfort in what I would describe as a higher power. I'm not, um, it's really comforting to know that everything's too perfect for the not to be, right. It's like, and in the dark times, and when there's a lot of shit going on, it gives me a lot of peace to know that um, I focus on kind of what it is rather than what it is not. Rather than trying to battle what it is not. Everything that comes at me now, I'm trying to, okay, well, that is what it is. It's obviously
Uh,
here for a reason. There's something guiding me in this experience. So it's interesting that you turn to, because I think sometimes whatever it is, whether it's Islam, you know,
uh,
um, being a Catholic, being Buddhist, whatever it may be, if you believe in that higher power, it really can carry you through the dark times. And even though you said you had a conflict near the end, did it help you through that process when you were there? That there was just like a period when you were doing that Islam. Did it help you?
oh, massively, mate. It is a beautiful religion. There are some of the most amazing people in the world. Like, they've given me comfort, they've given me food, they've given me shout out when no one did. Like, I have nothing against anything like that. It's just internally, it was more about the discipline and obeying, and that's what I found in Jesus. Islam found more of a discipline, not obeying. Obeying comes from love, and like getting to Jesus in a bit, like he's my Lord and Savior. Um, but yeah, it's always seeking for the truth, not something that fits our own narrative that gives us comfort in a way. And I was always seeking for the truth. Like, if it didn't make sense, it didn't make sense. And if you didn't have the answer, it didn't make sense. So I'm not going to try and fit that narrative to make it feel like it's true. I can't do that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I
But
do
yeah, that
100%. Do you 100%? Because as I say, it is what it is. So you're there. You've come out of that. You were struggling to find peace with what's just gone on. As a kid, now you've been through everything, and now you've lost your mother. Bless you and bless little Dave to be going through that. Where do you find yourself now?
yeah. So I was about 16, 17 years old. Went off the rails a little bit. I was homeless. I was living on the streets, living at friends' houses, couches, anywhere I could do. I had to register myself homeless so I could try and get temporary accommodation. That happened after about a year or so. Then got over to the foyer in Coventry, which is in the centre of Coventry. And that was just like a halfway house again. It kind of gave me a registered address. Because I tried to join the military and I wasn't allowed because I was homeless. Like I had no address, had no bank, had nothing. Do you know what I mean? They were just like, mate, you can't join, mate. We don't know who you are. Like, there's nothing. I was like, fucking hell, like, cheers, mate. Do you know what I mean? So tried, then joined the military, got accepted. I think it was about 18, I got accepted. Um, that was just a mad transition, but that's where I kind of got into drink and draw. Well, I started, remember draw back in the day, Brown.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I like that when I was like 10, 11 years old, bro. Do you know what I mean? That was,
No,
yeah,
when
when I
you
was
were
back,
10 and 11. Wow.
nicked it off my mate's dad, mate. He had a block in there. I used to break it down with a bit of tobacco and started fucking doing that. So I was always in there drinking drugs and alcohol. I used to rob. Remember 2020?
Yeah, fucking hell. Drink on the park with 2020 when I was 14, 15.
Fucking, that was a go-to, bro. Like, I used to rob my mum's 2020 and that stuff like that. 11, 12 years old and that, getting drunk and smoking hash and that. It was just filling voids, do you know what I mean? Trying to feel something and comfort. And that's what it kind of gave you. It kind of that comfort feeling and going through. I was always in and out of drugs and then got a bit more into drinking drugs around 16, 17, smoking crack, like putting cocaine in, freaking spliffs, smoking it, going out of it like mad. But I used to be very heavily into basketball as well. Like I used to play basketball. A lot. I wanted to go like semi-pro and stuff like that. But I used to play basketball that much. Like I had no fingertips. They were just fucked. They were bad.
Wow.
I got into it that much. I was playing
When
probably
you
eight,
when you go in, mate, you go all fucking in, don't you?
9, bro. I had to tape my fingers up all the time, so I had to get like masking tape just so I could play basketball because my fingers were bleeding that much. Because I was just avoiding, mate. You don't realize I'm just doing something to avoid it. Mate, I was playing like honestly when I was homeless, 8, 9, 10 hours a day basketball.
Wow.
A lot, bro. Like I was very, very good as well. Like I was getting to the point where I was getting noticed, and I was only doing it for a short while. But that comes onto a weird thing as well, and we'll come back to that in a minute. So I used to play basketball at Fire Gosford in Coventry quite a lot around the park. So I used to play with Coventry Crusade, well, going through there, coaching, and then joined the military at 18. Got sectioned at 19, 25th of January 2009. Got selected, went down to Catterick, up to Catterick, sorry. Yeah, that's when my life changed. I had no plan B. It was mad. I was wearing a fucking suit 10 times too bigger for me, like on the fucking train.
Like at
That
the end
little,
of Big.
yeah, exactly that, bro. Yeah, wanker. But yeah, I had like fucking cowlicks. I tried to cut my own hair because I couldn't afford a haircut. So I had to try and grab some radio. It's fucking mad. Got off the coach. It was just bam, right, shut the fuck up, get in the line, listen to me. But fucking hell, is this what it's supposed to be to have a dad? Like, you just want to leave that fight or flight. But because I was used to chaos, arguing like mad shit, it just felt normal to me. Like all the other
Walk in the
kids,
park for you.
yeah, I was just like, chill, mate, like relax, like, do you know what I mean? Got on the coach into cat trick, into training, and honestly, mate, like it was the best thing that ever happened to me. It broke me, but made me. Like, do you know what I mean? I had this where gratitude started to come into my life because I never knew what gratitude was. I thought it was fucking gratitude for what? What the fuck have I got to be thankful for? Do you know what I mean?
That's something that I want to talk about because I know it's huge with you, and I am
Yeah.
conscious of time, and I want to make sure that we hit on this because,
Don't stress about the
like,
time, bro. Don't stress about
sorry.
it. Don't stress about the time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Because but on that gratitude is for me that you speak it so well, and I see the journals you're getting putting through, and that's massive. And as I said before, a lot of people don't understand. They hear the word, oh,
Yeah.
gratitude, but they don't understand it. So I would ask you here now to simplify and try and make as many people can understand the power of gratitude.
So gratitude is an emotion. If you're feeling any other way, if you're feeling negative, sad, depression, and everything like that, if you can seek gratitude, no other emotion can live inside of that. Gratitude, gratitude. Even if you can't be fucking for thankful things, search for it, look for it, and you'll find it. And normally, when you always look for something and you seek the truth, Jesus is always there. I'm just going to put him in there. And that's where gratitude really changed with me. Like I said, joining the military, I never knew what gratitude was, but they were instilling it in me. Like I had people, cadets, moaning. So it was about 100 recruits. And not one of them had a life like mine. So I always felt segregated anyway. They were just like, no one really knew my life. Some of them did, like the DS and the staff knew kind of what I've been through and stuff. Because my brother in law, he was a sergeant at the time in my regiment. So they kind of
Wow.
knew me, and like, do you know what I mean? They were best friends. So they kind of knew my upbringing. They just said, like, have a look out for David. Like, this is what he's been through. Just be careful. Like, he has got a couple of things. Do you know what I mean? So he was always looking out for me, bless him. And I had kids moaning, bro, like 18, 19 years old. Like, oh, this is fucking shit. Like, bro, you got 3 square meals a day. You're in a comfort bed. You're safe. Chill the fuck out. Like, in the harbour area where we're doing exercise, people are moaning. I'm just like, you're mad. Like, I used to live in the street in Coventry and you're getting pissed off. Have a bit of fucking gratitude, bro. And that's where gratitude changed me. I'm just like, I'm so grateful. Like, I'm in a woodblock in the middle of nowhere. I felt safe.
Beautiful.
And I was just like, this is mad. Like, and when I feel something, bro, it keeps me safe. I'm very protective as a man. Like, you ain't taking this from. And that's where that notch switched for me. So I know, right, I need to be the best soldier. Mentally, physically, and emotionally, you ain't fucking beating me. And that's what happened. At the end of the training, I did really, really well. Like out of 100 recruits, I got best recruit. Do you know what I mean? I was the fittest.
Of
I was the strongest.
course.
I was never that person who was like the mad fittest or the mad at this. But they always said anything I did to the best of my ability and better than anyone else. And I never gave up. They couldn't break me, bro.
Fucking good on you.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a massive change.
Fucking good on you. I'm not surprised, by the way. You're a resilient fucker, and yeah, impressive. You're an impressive man. The what you've just described on that gratitude, coming back to that, it's that. It's like if you walk into that box of gratitude, because I struggle sometimes to articulate to people. It's almost by dripping away at it. Eventually, the acorn grows and people to understand. Oh, it's this thing. And what you describe, because I watch you describe it really well, and you by repetition, you're going to help so many people with it. It is that thing of the other emotions can't exist in it because it's such a
Yeah.
high frequency, it's such a high emotion that when you get in there and you fucking feel this thing, you're like, fucking, let's go. The other things can't come there. And as you described really clearly, there was it's a strategy, like
Mm.
everything in life. It's like you're going to go for the strategy in business. Why aren't you going to go strategy for you as a fucking human being? There's things
Perfect.
that you can do. You know what I mean? You're going to focus all your fucking energy on, most men are sitting there going, let's fucking make some money or let's grow on the career ladder. And there's no strategy in yourself. And you wonder why you feel like shit because you're focusing all your energy in your work. And I think there's a real fucking massive like cheat code in what you describe with gratitude. That's why I'm fucking laboring on it because I like what you're saying, and I haven't done it as much as I can because I've just been through a lot. I've just been back to the UK. Um, both I went back to my dad's got Alzheimer's, and it was a bit of a
Lovely.
shock to the system when I got there. It was bigger than I thought, and then when I was there 2 days in, my mum gets some results back from a biopsy, and she had some blood cells weren't very good. So I spent one day with her while me missus looked after my dad while she got processed the bloods and stuff. And then the next day I'm with her holding her hand as she's getting
Mm.
bone marrow stuff extracted. So all that was quite difficult for me to kind of take because I went there and I was sidetracked with that. I've been going through some business stuff and uh, sorry, brother.
Stay with it, bro.
And then what I forgot was at those times that's the time to do the work. You know what I mean? At those times, that's when you fucking need it the most. That's when you need your higher self, Jesus, God, whatever it is. That's when you dial into that and do that inner work. And it is what it is, and acceptance for what is, and do what you can in those times. Um, so yeah, I'd just like to reiterate that because your message is a powerful one, and I think more people need to understand what you're saying, and the fact that it can really change your kind of existence.
Firstly, but I just want to say thank you for sharing about that. Like we spoke about it as well. It's tough, bro. What you're going through, it's just everyone's going to go through it.
Hey, you know,
Everyone's going to go through it, bro. And it's okay to cry in happiness and pain. You perfectly. You said it earlier. It's jelly, not cement. Do you know what I mean? What your foundation should be with gratitude is the cement. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're not building on anything, like you said perfectly, it's fucking jelly. It'll swallow you up. Like I say, with gratitude, people go very surface level. So within my coaching, I go quite deep with gratitude. I'm just like, nah, bro, like, oh, I'm grateful for the food in my fridge. Yeah, everyone's got that. Let's go a little bit deeper. And while you're doing that, that's what I do within my journal. You write three things you're grateful for. What people normally do next day, oh, I'm still grateful for them things, still grateful. Stop fucking doing that bullshit. Get back to the first page. You're grateful for them three things, right? So how are you working on it? Are you adding or subtracting? Oh, I'm grateful for my family. Okay. What are you doing for your family every single day that can better that relationship, mentally, physically, emotionally, even financially? If you're grateful for it, add to it. Because if you're just fucking being in the comfort zone, I'm grateful for you. Build on it. Then the next day you add three more. Don't go back to the same three. So I do it in like 3 month stints. So if you're doing the same three things that you're grateful, you're only grateful for three things in 3 months. But if you can do three things every single day, you're grateful for 90 fucking things.
wow, yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's just focus on the little things and that gratitude, like, right, I'm grateful for my kids. Right, how can I be a better dad today? Because that's going to add my gratitude. I'm going to spend more time, get off my phone, get down to the eye level, speak to the heart, speak to something, and just at the end of the day, when I go back to my fucking notes in my journal, have I done that? Ticked it. Yeah, I improved in this point. It's all about improvement, not subtraction in life. So anything in the universe, whatever you take away, you need to fill it. Whether that's going to be a negative or a positive, there's a void in the universe.
I love that because what you're describing is the difference between saying the words and then truly feeling it and being it. And that's with the work that you're doing with the journal and really dialing in to go deeper. That's when you become it. And that's where you're in the frequency, right? Where the other stuff can't come in. Because I think some people get stuck at that surface level where they say the thing, oh, yeah, great, but they don't mean it. They don't feel it because they're not spending enough time to truly get into it. Would you agree?
Yeah, yeah. And I don't think you realise, like, I fail most days. I'll get up out of bed, fucking my alarm goes off, fucking out, bam, fucking out. Shut, something pops up on my social media. I'm on social media. Started scrolling for 2 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Fuck my phone off. Straight away, I hit the fucking wall with my phone and I fucking break my phone. I'm just like, fuck's sake. I'm just like, because it's easy to go into that comfort thing. You've got to think it's embedded into you to look at other people's life, not yours. Look at other people's life, not yours. I'm just like, couldn't give a fuck. Like, I know I'm on social media, I do my shit just like yourself. I've got like probably 70, 80% screen time, like in the day, but it's not social media. Like, I'm on my phone because it's my business, but I'm only on social media like 10 minutes a day. I'm very quick at doing my content. I do my content in real time. Not a lot of creators do that. I give myself chaos because I work better in it. So in the mornings, I don't think what I'm doing with the content the next day. Wake up, what am I feeling? What am I doing? Right, praise Lord Jesus, right, this and that. Give me some content with the Holy Spirit. That, do a video. Bam, done it. Post it, do it, done, done, done.
Amazing. No, I mean, and I can see it, because you're authentic and it comes through. It comes through fucking authentic. And that's because of everything that you're describing, you follow Jesus, you found yourself, you say it as it is. And even how you deliver your social media is authentic. It comes through. It tell you
Thank
you haven't got any of the people coming through fucking helping you with it and this, that, and the other. You're just saying what you fucking mean. And I love that. And I've just recently been back to again when I went back to the UK and I found um there's sometimes there's people that you know I think sometimes there's some small-minded people who can throw from the cheap seats. Do you know what I mean?
you.
Like they're not in the arena, they're not doing what you're doing, but they can have opinions and shit. And have you found that
Opinions
at
are-
time?
Bro, everyone's got them.
Have you found that? I even fucking rocked up to because I don't drink anymore or anything like that. So, and obviously I was really invested in the family, didn't really get to see anybody. So, on the last night, took my mum and dad for a meal. And my dad had to go pretty early, but that's with family. And then I went to meet some friends, and they're in the the local pub. Fucking first thing my mate says to me, he goes, "Ah, fucking hell, is you from Australia? You can't be wearing that stuff round here, you know." And I'm like, what do you want me to just wear? Just a low cost t-shirt or something? Just because I was wearing a nice shirt or something? And he was straight fucking in, put you down. And again, it's a humour, it's a lad thing, but it's
Goes
kind
deep.
of
You
sorry.
know it goes deep. You know it goes deeper than that, innit?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But do you find that because you're fucking I find you so authentic and you're putting it out, but like when you see the world like I would like to say we see the world, you see truth, you see authenticity, and you also see the other side of things. So you see people who aren't authentic. You see things, and it fucking stands out like dog's balls to you. And you're like fucking yuck. I see it on socials as well. I see people that I just don't feel what they're coming on. People will throw stones, and there's a lot of inauthenticity. There's a lot of there's a lot of people out there who are who don't want the best for you at times. Who maybe say they do, but they don't. Have you found that in all the work that you're doing over the last
A lot
few years?
of people, but a lot of people are bitter. A lot of people do reach out that you get a lot of negative shit. But what I've realized going through social media, you can't fucking break it. There's not one person on this earth that can break me. And that's not me being egotistical, bro.
No, I know.
You can't, don't care what you do, mentally, physically, emotionally, you can't break me. I've been through fucking everything. And I was speaking to my brother Charlie the other day. Not even my brother, I call him my brother, he's like a friend of mine. And he was just like, why don't shit like just stress you anymore? You just like, bro, everything that bad that could have happened to me happened to me. I'm fucking grateful for. Like, I'm good. Anything that comes to me now is surface level shit. Do you know what I mean? I've dealt with everything. Like, people only like judge you on their opinion, and their opinion doesn't matter anyway. Like, there's so many, like you say, inauthentic people, people that are. I know I did a video about the other day. I know I'm a good person. I've made some bad mistakes, but generally I know I'm a good person. But I know there's some fucking dickheads out there that act like good people. I've got people on my street that are fucking dickheads, that are two-faced little cunts, and I can't deal with it, bro. Like I said, I can't be around inauthentic people. If you were lying, if you were changing your image, you change your way you're saying, I will call you out in your shit because I don't want to be around you. If it pisses you off and it triggers you, I know I trigger a lot of people. With what I say, what I do, my persona, how I speak, because I'm 20, I'm straight to the point. Don't want to hear your bullshit. What's the point? What's your problem? I've got the solution. Don't come at me with a problem if it's just problem after problem. If you're going to bring me with the solution, you can't be coached. You're not going to progress. And that's what I've really struggled with in life. Is I'm going to go back to Jesus right now. Like Jesus didn't really spend his time with a lot of people. He came into crowds. Like I think I'm not nothing like that. But I'm saying like I give everything to everyone, and I have to have solitude. I have to come away from people. I spend 99% of my time alone. Like I give a lot of people, I have to subtract my alone time. And that's so important, I think, for people like yourself and me that have gone through shit and doing stuff. We give so much to people. We need to subtract. I don't find any validation in people no more. I don't go to my mates. I don't go to people. I don't ask them questions. I don't need to seek my validation. Any substances, no drink, drugs, alcohol, women, sex. I'm good.
Strong.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's good. So you're dealing with that by it. It is what it is, and yeah, I just look at that and I find it funny. If I'm honest, I just smile it, laugh it off. Okay, but I think a younger me would have, and the reason I'm saying it is a younger me might kind of probably would have got manipulated by all of this shit, and I think there's a lot of young men, women as well, like who get manipulated by wanting to be approved, wanting to be part of the clique, whether that be social media, within the friend circles. And there's so many people, I think, today who are going against their, obviously the society's fucked, suicidality going through the roof. This is why I do what I do, right? And you'll do what you do. Um, I think so many people are going against their authentic self. They're going against who we are as human beings because of this fucking thing of trying to please others, and that others doesn't actually exist. And that's what it is. We're going against our authentic selves for this misty thing that doesn't even exist. And that's why, you know, like you say, it doesn't fucking matter. Let them, you know, fucking who gives a fuck? Who are you trying to please? It doesn't actually exist because it's like it just. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100%. I'm very scared of my kids growing up this day and age because of social media, how it is. When we were growing up, bro, you had to be in person to be manipulated. Now you can just sit on your phone 12, 24 hours a day and manipulate it, and it changes your, but it doesn't even change the way you think. Like I always say to people, you can't control your thoughts. Anyone who tries to control the thoughts, you're being stupid. Thoughts come in 67 hours a day. The power is in the thinking. What you think, if you're adding and subtracting it, is so important. My kids are on social media, just feeling like this and toxicity. OnlyFans, like people that say it's a fucking business, and like Bonnie Blue and all these people that are doing fucking OnlyFans.
Oh,
I'm just like, you're fucking mad. Like, you're all fucking mad. Like, thinking it's a job and a career. And I just hate people on social media call themselves fucking digital creators when realistically they're just getting their body out. But they're in pain, bro.
oh, severe, severe.
No one does
Yeah,
that. That's happening.
nobody. But I, I believe I've said it a million times when I've spoken on podcasts. That I believe we are all a ball of love. We've all come from the creator, right? We are a ball of love, and it's the program, and whether that's, you know, past program through which have, you know, through ancestral kind of traumas, or we've come in like you've just come in and you've had this fucking crazy environment to program and you've had to battle your way. You must be, you know, I always say people are consciousness level 1 to 5. You're at consciousness level 5. You're top of the shop because you've managed to unpick and get to where you are. You know, you're not going to fully heal, but to be where you are, you know, you've really kind of managed to do it. But I think a lot of people don't know. They're not aware, and they're programmed by their surroundings. You know, school tell them to do this, parents tell them to do that, mates do this, fucking governments with all the bullshit, this, that, and the other. And that are fucking, it's like a computer program, that an output of code which
Yeah.
isn't them. And most people that I look around, it's like looking at the Matrix going, oh, you're programmed like that. You're programmed like that. You're away with the fairies. You're a tit. But behind that, you know, I
Yeah.
can see the little fucking the love. The behind that, I can see there's a beautiful human being under there that's just been programmed wrong. You know.
Yeah. But I find mad, yeah. And like you're saying with the Matrix, I see, like you say, I think I'm very conscious and I'd be I kind of try and regulate myself on all this conscious force. I need to be conscious of everything. And that's what I do in my coaching as well. And I set a challenge last week. It's the no complaining, no negativity. This may seem simple, it's just a sentence, but what you're doing is you're changing from the subconscious to the conscious. Every time you think about something negative, are you adding or subtracting to it? Are you becoming conscious of your thoughts and process? Are you making an actual step on that negative thought process? You're becoming conscious. Because then you realize, I say to them, so in my coaching, what I do is a 24-hour challenge. I say to them, right, 24 hours, you've got to go. No negative thinking or actions. Yes, you may think about something, but if you're making an actual step, 24 hours, start again. 24 hours, start again. 20. And they're just like, no one's completed it, bro. I've coached people and they won't.
Well, mate, we're perfectly imperfect. It's the awareness.
But this, I say to them, I don't say it to them, but it's a challenge you'll never complete. No one,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because it shows where your subconscious mind is and retraining it and retraining it. I have to bite my tongue so many times and I have to start my clock most days. I fail it every day, but I'm becoming conscious. We're never going to be 100%. We're going to be the 99. Do you know what I mean? I always say that to people. Like switching back, like you were saying, like the Matrix. I find it mad. Like, I think the hardest era is the teenage area because you're trying to fit in. You're a jigsaw piece trying to fit into every puzzle. And I find it mad. Yeah, it fucks my head up when I see a group of kids and they're all wearing the same clothes and trainers. There's 10 of them. I'm just like, fucking weird, bro. Weird. Like, you've all just migrated into like one person. And like, looking back at it now, I was so different. Like, I just had my style was so different to anyone else's. And there's power in that. And when I see it, like you were saying perfectly, bro, it's just like, it's the Matrix, like 10 people the same, but you come from 10 different backgrounds. You've just like, your yous are going to be so fucked up.
Again, because they're getting this programming which is en masse from all of these areas, right? And you talk about your kids. How old are your children?
My little boy's 3, my little girl's 2.
And again, that's, you know what, you know, I haven't got children. I have never been in the right relationship because I never knew myself. I am actually in a beautiful relationship with my Mrs. Katya now, and I would actually have a child with her, but a bit older and stuff. But whether that would happen,
Oh, mate,
you know,
fucking amazing.
whether that would happen, God may give that to us or whatever. But we shall see. But for me, I would be terrified of bringing a part of me up because I know I'm very protective and bringing them up into this world with social media, as you described, and all of that stuff and everything else, all this bullshit that's out there. I would be terrified because I struggle. I struggle. You touched on there. I have meditation practices. I get up in the morning, do my meditation. Sometimes I might do work first, and then when I go to the gym, I'll have meditate in the sauna. But I'm doing all. I've got all my own practices. The odd day I'll miss something, and the odd day, like you said, I'll get on my phone because there'll be something to do with work, and I'll get tied up in that, and then I'm fucking looking at something, and I go, fucking hell, I've wasted an hour. And it's stuff that's not served me. It's actually polluted my brain, and I can actually feel it with social media, like physically. I get this feeling in my head because it's doing shit to me. So I would be terrified in what's going on in the world now to bring up a child and all that. And I was watching a Robbie Williams thing the other day where he said, "My kids ain't getting no phone, no nothing for as long as I can give them it. The friends have it in school, but I don't give a fuck. They're just not getting it. When they ask me, I say I don't care. Because I think the phone is the biggest." But there was a clear thing. I think it was when the iPhone came into play that anxiety, suicidality, and all this massively in teenagers. And the average age of suicidality, it's now between, I think the leading cause of death is between 15 and 45 is now in men, is suicide. But it used to be like 20. And as technology's gone up, the age has decreased. So it's like when you hand that child that phone, you are literally giving them poison. You are giving them an anxiety creator. You're going to say, there's that, it's going to fucking poison your brain and it might bring you closer to that risk step that we talk about. You know what I mean? So how do you feel about it having children? You know what I mean? It's a fucking tough one.
Yeah, I'm scared you're going to be as a dad, but I'm very protective, and I do guilt trip myself sometimes with how I father. I know deep down I'm a good father. I was very scared to be a dad because I always thought I was going to be like my dad. Um, and yes, we may live in separate homes, but I'm a very, very, very present dad. Do you know what I mean? I see them every single day, no matter how much I've worked. If I worked a 20-hour day, I'm phoning them, FaceTiming them, seeing them. They always know my presence is there. But like you said there perfectly, um, about the not having phones and stuff, it's kids won't know you're teaching them until they feel it sometimes. Like when I say no, it's no. You may not, they might understand it at that time because they're not intellectually, emotionally mature at that time. But as they gradually go up, dad did it for that reason. Sometimes the lessons they won't know right then, they might know it 10, 20 years later. And that's what's so important. Like when I say no, is to protect you. Simple as that. No talking. Like obviously I parent completely different to my ex. She's an amazing mother, nurtured, like she's amazing. They're 3 and 2 years old. She still breastfeeds. She's the most caring mother in the world. She's
Really?
amazing. But how I father is no, not doing that. Bam, want it? No, give it to me. No, I have to have that intelligence where like you ain't getting everything you're given to. Like I need to embed it into them. Like, but I still comfort them in a way. Do you know what I mean? My boy's very emotional. It's amazing to see. And like, there's a video on my social media, bro, because do you know what really elevated me with my emotional intelligence is learning how to parent from certain books, like Emotionally Parenting and Parenting with Purpose. They're amazing books. I didn't realize that was going to be, because I was scared of being a dad. I was like, you know what? I need to educate myself. Read these books, and these really educated me on how to be more emotionally intelligent as a man. So I always say to men, read books how to parent.
I've
Because
just
when you,
made a note.
yeah, honestly, bro, it's amazing. I'll send you the books. They're amazing because
Yeah, please. I've just yeah.
even a little thing of this changed my life straight away because it happened instantly. I never thought it happened. It's just like a magic trick. So my kids were around my island in my kitchen. They were on the little bikes. They were learning how to drive. My little girl, he was only like 1.5 at the time. He's very slow. My little boy was obviously little boy running around, fucking trying to push out the way. And I tried two parenting styles. Stop. Didn't listen to me. Just like that. Didn't listen to me. So I got down to his level and I whispered, "Stop it. Come here." And his eyes just locked onto mine. Come to, he's like, "Oh." I said, "Look, your little sister, she's very small, mate. you need to go round and go a little bit slower. He's like, okay, daddy. Went round. That changed where I was like, goosebumps. I was like, I got it on camera,
I love that.
and it changed my life. It's just like, I've completely changed his emotions, how he feels about a situation. Like, your kid's internal voice is to do with you. How they think about themselves is how you speak to them. That changed me now. And that just
Wow.
changed my life.
Wow, that's powerful.
I'll
That's
send you the video.
powerful. Please,
I can't,
please do.
I can't believe I caught it, bro.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's funny you should say that because on the kind of I feel like I've been on a calling, bit of a spiritual awakening, whatever. And obviously they've got the good men helping good men. There's going to be a good women, and I'm doing stuff in the corporate space. But there's this where it ultimately gets to, because I see like what's going on in society and stuff, and think right. We need our men to understand who we are, step up. You know, men, suicidality going through the roof. They're the hardest hit from a suicidality. Women try to commit suicide more regularly, but they don't follow through. Whereas men just fucking get it done. You know, so there's a big problem with suicide. And I say it many times. I can't fucking believe that the leading cause of death between the age of 15 to 45 is suicide, and it's not everywhere because it's not disease. It's not this. What the fuck? If we truly cared, if people who run, countries and this, that's truly cared, we'd do something about that properly, really, genuinely, and invest fucking time and effort into it. But so I think it's going to come from us. It's going to come from society. It's going to come from the men, the women, whatever, ourselves as human beings to sort this shit out. And that's why I think people like us are popping off and just trying to do what we can do. But I think that Parenting with Purpose book, I'll read that because I believe this is how if our children are programmed from an early enough age, once the light bulb's on, once you're aware, you can't really turn it off. And it's like
Mm.
you educating your kiddie and explaining things in a way that's going to land and it's going to, you're programming. It's like that code. You're just fucking programming, right? And if you're programming enough in the right way and you get it to land, you can't unprogram it. It's hard to deprogram this little code that you've put in. And there's a book that I read called The Four Agreements. I don't know if you've ever read it, but have you got it?
Yeah, yeah, I got it, bro.
You've got the Four Agreements.
No, no, no. I'm writing it down. I've never
Oh,
read it
okay.
down.
I'll send you that one as well. There's a book called The Four Agreements, and it's so fucking simple and so powerful. Um, and I believe just a book like that, if it was taught to kids at an early age, you're gonna program them with how to process emotions, how to do all this stuff simplistically. And if even a book like was taught in a fucking school from an early enough age, I think it would have a bigger impact. Because they're the new souls being born into this earth, right? Coming through the divine feminine into this fucking earth, right? And if we program them the right way, I think it would, because we've got to do something to change what's happening, and I think it would massively change. And there's a simple thing here we were talking about before. It helps me. We were talking about before when people give you shit, and you described there's something deeper underneath there, which is kind of there's something within there. And just one of the things, they have 5 agreements, and the second one is don't take anything personally. And nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinion of others, the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Now, that's one of the agreements that they go into depth with, but it simply describes stuff. Now, how many fucking kids get tangled up in that shit, whether it be social media, bullying, this, that, and then veer off course, off center of who they are because of
Mm.
these things. So I just thought I would labour that point because you brought it up, and I think
No,
something
hang on,
needs to
bro.
be done.
But you couldn't said it better, bro. So like you're doing amazing things in your space. I love your content, love what you're doing, bro. Like you're leading from your heart, which is amazing, bro. It's good to see men leading men. And like touching back what you were saying about how teaching kids. So this is something I always try and embed in my kids, like built from the Bible. It's the power in the tongue. It's life and death. It's powerful, bro. Do you know what I mean? And these mates, I love word analogy. I used to be so freaking I was a mute as a kid, bro. Never used to speak. Now you can't shut me up, bro, because all this wisdom's just like bam, bam, like always. I love wordplay. Two words that mean different things. One word can mean completely opposite word of the tongue. So like stop and no, they're two powerful words, but they can seem the same, but they're completely opposite. I never really tell my children no unless they're in danger. But when they're doing something on the opposite side of it, I tell them stop because it's paused. So for instance, my kid's lashing out, I don't say no because it's fear. Stop. Story, listen to me. Eye contact. I don't speak to him unless he has eye contact. Won't talk to him. Story, eye contact. Stop. Eye contact. Look at me. Look at daddy. Look at my eyes. Stop. Are you okay? What's going on? But you centralize them and make them very conscious because my kid's looking over there. Kids are going in. And I always say to my kid, look, put your hand over your ear, mate. Like, do you know why I'm doing that? So it's not going out the other ear, mate. Speak to me. Yeah, listen to me. I'm trying to just embed that into him. Like, but it is, you have to learn how to be a better man, and you have to go to the right people, the right books, and the right knowledge and wisdom and stuff. And what you're doing is doing that, bro.
What do you think would be the impact of more people, more parents reading the likes of Parent with Purpose, digesting it, and trying to actively follow through with that with the children? What do you believe the impact to humanity would be?
I think parents can be quite lazy, and I get that. They've got a lot of shit on these days. Freaking out, you have to have two, three jobs just to fucking pay your mortgage, bro. Do you know what I mean? You have to. Like, the the UK is, I'm gonna say it, fucking terrible for family. It is not built on structure for family. It's about destroying it. As soon as you break up, you get good lives. But when you're together, it's an absolute fucking shit state. Do you know what I mean? You don't get any care. You don't get any care. You don't get any money. You don't get any provided for. But the middle class, there is no middle class, bro. Do you know what I mean? You could be earning 100, 200 grand and you're still on the breadline. Do you know what I mean? Like nursery fees are like 800, what, 1,800 quid a month for three
Fuck
days a week.
off. Wow.
But it's like 1,600 quid a month for
Wow.
free. They're getting fed fucking shit. Yeah, they're getting that, but it's just like that's a wage, bro. So I've got
Wow.
to work another job, try and make another income, so someone else can see my kids. Fucking
Wow.
mad, mad in it. Thinking about it, but yeah, it's just like the words are powerful. So I definitely get what you're saying. I think lazy is a big word, but I want it to be called lazy because it's, in my opinion, I can give a bit what people think you're being lazy. Like people always say, I think when the parent, no one teaches you how to be a parent. Completely not a bullshit. Society teaches you how to be a parent, which is bullshit. Your parents teach you how to be a parent, which is bullshit. You need to parent. I say to people, like my friends that have had kids, never let anyone tell you how to parent. Don't do it. Learn and educate yourself how you want to parent from what you've been through, but make sure it's educational for purpose. Read about it. I've read how to be a dad. I'm a better dad because of it. I look at different men, how they father. Christianity, I try and embed into that how would Jesus father. Like even like the statistics, bro, in Christianity for suicide, it drops to only 90%. As soon as you find Christ, it's 95% suicide rates go down. Infidelity in marriages and divorces drop by nearly 99%. Mental health dropped nearly by 90% because we're not leaning on our understanding, it's God's understanding.
Yeah,
And that's
belief.
why, yeah, belief. And that's why the last 2 years when I find Jesus Christ, my social media blew up. I've never been as happy. I still go for my shit, but I'm just good.
I
Man,
love them. I love
yeah.
that. So, in your experience, then, with kind of men out there, what do you think the biggest struggle is? What do you think people are struggling with the most at the
What
moment?
men?
Yeah.
Dividing purpose. We're so divided from what a real man should be, which is alpha protection. That's what we're brought. That's what we're chemically done from the biblical parts. And purpose. We're not purpose driven. We took away from things that we should be providing: money, protection. Women think they're a bad boss because they're on OnlyFans making this fucking kind of money, but realistically, they're just in pain. We don't know what a family structure is. A woman should be a woman, a man should be a man. Then you're seen as like fucking being misogynist or fucking whatever you want, a feminist or whatever you want to do. It's just satanic, bro. Like it's just mad. Like no family works without God in the middle of it. It's different.
And if from the men that you're working with, that lack of purpose that you've just spoken on, because I've found that as well. It really comes through strong. And when what I've found is when they're suffering like this, when they've got no purpose, um, they're at the end of the tether, and they haven't got they're not in a strong relationship with or they're either single, so they haven't got someone to lean on, or a lot of them in a fucked up relationship, which are part of the problem. and I find that like there's a bit of loneliness. I don't know if you're seeing, like, there's a lot of men who have lost those social connections with other men as well. And the reason I'm asking is because I'm looking at your kind of your whole journey, what you've just described to me there, and there's been a real lack of that male role model. Well, you might have got it in the army later or whatever in the forces, but you had a real lack of that, and now you are bringing to people. It feels like that thing that you had a lack of. You're going to help a lot of men and people with that void that was in your life. And are you seeing that with people that you're working with?
What they call it, loneliness.
Yeah.
A lot of it, whether that's the male or female. I actually coach quite a lot of females, which is mad. I never thought I would. Like women come to me mainly, I think it's abuse from relationship, feeling lonely, and they just like I feel lonely. But I'm just, what are you feeling like? Loneliness is a very weird emotion. It's just you have to go through it to go to solitude. You can't skip shit. People try and skip, go round and round about, and go over it, under it. Got to go through things. You have to go through the lonely period in life because you're feeling an emotion. Like loneliness can set into me. Some I did last night, man. I just cried for fucking like 5 minutes last night. Active as fuck. As soon as I start, thoughts come in. I'm just like silence fucking out. It's just like it hits you sometimes. Like I've got pictures of my kids and like my kids should be in here. It's just silence and it's just like tears start to run. Fuck that, going for a run. Do you know what I mean? And this is why I'm so people don't realise how active I am. Like even when I was in Manchester the other day, like I'd run, get there an hour before work. Right, I'll go and do 4 miles, do work, do that, come back, run 4 miles, go to the gym, do this.
Wow.
Yeah, some days I'll do like 30, 40,000 steps and don't even fucking realise it. And I've
Wow.
you know what I mean? But I can't stop, bro. It's just like I can't. It's just it's embedded into me.
And is that sometimes, is there an element there of, is there still work to be done, and you're choosing when you're choosing when you deal with that work because you know it's big and it's deep, and you kind of, right, you're chipping away at it.
Yeah, like big changes don't happen overnight. Like an overnight success happens every 20 years. Do you know what I mean? It's a long process, and it's just we're all constantly working, I think, and like you need to I always say to when even in my coaching, I say to them, right, if we can't fix it emotionally, do something actively. Because if you're staying in it and that's staying that loneliness and you can't change the thought process, you can't change anything, do something active. That's why I've got a challenge in my journal every week, and you do the challenge, whether it's a 2 minute shower, 50 burpees, and the next week is a different challenge. When you're feeling something and you can't control it, go out for a run, do something active, go for a cold shower, do something, do burpees, do something to change the chemicals in your body, and then go back to it. Right.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. And I think there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. And I agree with I say to people with the lone, you're going through the loneliness phase. Congratulations, you're in the growth phase. This is fucking great,
Bang
because
on, bro. Yeah.
I went through it again. Only I came out of a relationship, one of my cycles, 5 years, didn't understand myself, popped out. Fuck, where am I again? I'm 45. I went on the piss and stuff and partying around here, you know, sleeping around, and I was just like, this is fucking soulless. I've been here. There's nothing
Yeah.
here for me. And I came home, and I was staying here, and I was upstairs, and I've said it before. I just broke down, sobbing on the floor, and I was
Mm.
just like, I'm lonely. I'm fucking so lonely. And I was trying to run away from it, get on the piss with like people who weren't really my friends, just because I get on the piss and to go out to try and pull chicks and do all this crap. And then it just let out, and I was sobbing for like half an hour, like proper, like never, like wailing. Woof, all came out. And when it cleared up, I was like, fuck. Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
like a biggest release I've ever had, and it was a realization. I was like, right, okay, well, I'm not going to do that again. This isn't my, this isn't my path. And it was like this big realization that, like, that's not where it's fucking at. Right, what is this loneliness thing? Then I started going, right, and then by sitting in it and just kind of letting it be and trying to listen, and then went meditation and breath work and this and that, then things started drifting into me. Oh, purpose, and things start. Oh, I should be helping people. Oh, and all of a sudden, this is where all this birthed from. From that moment of that fucking big release to kind of moving forward. So I agree with you. Like, it's almost part of the process, really, isn't it?
You got to go through it. Like loneliness and grief are kind of the same emotion. Do you know what I mean? They're on different things, and it's just like you're losing part of you that bring you comfort sometimes. That loneliness there, you're just like fucking hell, no one's around. It grief. That's what loneliness is. It's just grief. It's just having this emotion where it has nowhere to go. It's just like fucking hell. What am I supposed to do? Just sit with it. Sit with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. But look, it's beautiful what you're saying, and I think just more men need to realize, more men, women, everybody need to realize, and I like how you simply describe stuff. There's just simple things that we can do that build the foundation. You know, most people have built on this fucking jelly of if my job's okay or my relationship's okay or I'm going on the piss for Friday, Saturday and have a good time or I'm okay. Then there's simple things to build that foundation that keep you. So when there's the highs and the lows, you've got that solid foundation to come onto. And I like the way you describe things. So just to try and kind of close this out, my question to you would be, what would, with all of the stuff that you've been through and the work that you're doing, what would the advice be you give to any struggling men out there today? Anybody who's going through tough times, anything that maybe you've experienced, or just fucking really, feeling lost, could be anywhere on that risk step. What would
Mm.
you kind of advise them and to do, to think, to feel? What would your advice be to them?
Like perfect, you said it, feel it. Do you know what I mean? You're never going to build resilience through comfort. It has to go through pain. You have to go through the tough times in life, whether it's a breakup, a makeup, fucking a loss of a career, a loss of a parent, a loss of a sibling, or whatever it is. You need to look at that situation, right? What can I do to be better? What can I do to educate myself? Like, there's always power in lessons, and people turn themselves and fill voids with alcohol, drink, sex. Like, I see it all the fucking time. It's just take a step back, like breath work. Take a step back, breathe. My mate Boofy, he says it perfectly. He said, my life was always on 2 second decisions. And it is, it's them 2 second decisions that fuck your life up. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they,
It's
they, they
just
say they say you're always one decision away from a totally different fucking reality, right?
fucking mate. These days as well, you're one paycheck away from being homeless as well, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's people don't realize that like you have to constantly like the system is broke, change the system. Do you know what I
And
mean?
and to close out, because I know, and I want to give you space for that. You've got a real belief in Jesus, and I'd just like to, if you can leave on what that's done for you and what advice you would give to anyone who's struggling out there, because I just think from what I can see just on those statistics that you've just described that it's a massive uplift. I mean, what was the statistics you described from suicidality from?
I think it drops on nearly 99.5%. You know what I
You
mean? It's
know,
near,
so
yeah, I'll get
what
this. This
what
is
yeah, what did it do for you, and what would you recommend that if anybody's looking for something out there, yeah.
what I find was a big change for me finding Jesus. I didn't realize I freaking needed him, bro. I didn't like, I was financially great. I was emotionally great. I was doing my work. I was thinking all good. Like we can in life. Like everything's going all good when things are going good. But when things are going shit, your true character and nature comes out, the true person. I dropped to my knees about 2 years ago in February. Started to pray. I just needed it. I needed shrink in my life. I just didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel peace. I was just like, the only way you're going to get peace is through Jesus. And he says that in the Bible. The only way you're ever going to get peace is seeking refuge in Jesus. Like his yoke is light. What it means by that. Do you know what the yoke is?
No, just please
So
describe it.
the yoke back in the days is something like, the donkeys used to use or people. So it's like a wooden beam across them and they used to
Oh
have
yes,
weight.
yeah.
That's what it is. And his is light. So we can always go to Jesus to seek him to the foot of the cross to allow our sins and help me really realize what a true man is. Jesus was a gangster, bro. Like an absolute. He was. He like spent his time alone. He came with his disciples. He told them what to do. Like he didn't care where he was. He would say what he needed to say. He never spent time with people he didn't need to spend time with. Like he didn't like. It's so biblically amazing. Every truth is in the Bible. Every word he say is the truth. Like even Yahweh. Yahweh is Jesus, one of his first names. It's supposed to be the unpronounceable word. So when you take certain letters out, like the vowels, it's the unpronounced word, which is so it's the word of the breath. So the first thing you actually breathe or talk is Jesus' name, and the last thing you do is Jesus' name. And everything just started to become truthful. Every time I read the Bible, start to finish, and it's just I can't contradict it. Like I can't find the false, and no one can. No one can ever contradict the Bible. You can't. It's just truth. But every time I read the Quran, that didn't seem right. Like Jesus in it. Like Jesus is in every other religion. In Sikh, Hinduism, Buddhism, everything. Jesus is in every religion. Come on. So- And he's just helped me. Like, so if men or women are listening to this, I I'm not pushing religion because I'm not religious. I follow Jesus Christ. And I say that to a lot of people. A lot of things are religious that have started crusades, kill people and whatever. I don't do that. Follow biblically Jesus, his teachings, what he's done historically, scientifically, everything's been proven. Like even Albert Einstein, some of the most creative minds in the world, yeah. Albert Einstein, Steve Jobs, they came to certain points in their career where they had to realize, like Albert Einstein, 3 dimensions, 4 dimensions, did 10 dimensions. He said, like, there has to be a higher power. And he got to the point, and he got to the point where he converted to Christianity because he's like, it is the truth. So some of the most educated minds in the world that got to a certain point where they know more than anyone. Scientifically, it's been proven. That's what it was for me. Then religiously, it was proven. Like the scrolls from back in the day, like the people that wrote the Bible. Obviously, there's going to be contradicting factors. I say to people like, "Oh, there's always contradicting factors. 500 people that see Jesus be alive. There's going to be contradicting factors because if there's not, they're lying. Same as a jury. If there's 12 people got the same story, they're fucking lying. They have to have contradicting factors. They come from different personalities and traits, and everything just started to fit in. It was just like, and then my mental health got better, was really, I prayed, which is a seeker therapy. Like Jesus is my therapy. But also, I go to him for the good times and the bad times. I praise him in the good times when good things are happening. And I seek refuge and strength from recovery. Like Jesus says, he's not going to pull you out of the situation. He's not. But when you keep your eyes on him, so when Paul got out the boat, there was a massive storm. Jesus got out he was in the boat, he was lying down, he was asleep in the boat. And this massive storm, like tsunami, these waves are like 20, 30 feet high. And his disciples were losing their shit. Losing their shit. They were just like, Jesus, wake up. Like, what are you doing? Save us. Fucking save us. He's like, wake up, like, what are you doing? But do you not know who I am? He got out of the boat and started to walk, and they were losing their shit. Like, what's happening? And they all started to look at Jesus. And then he just, Paul started to get out of the boat. And he was like, do you trust me? And he was just like, of course, Lord. Like, I trust you. Paul got out of the boat, started to walk near him, started to go in. But then as soon as Paul took his eyes off Jesus, he sank. And that's a really important part of it. Keep your eyes focused on Jesus and he'll get you through any storm. Any situation he'll get you through. He's not going to pull you out of it. He'll help and guide you through it. And that's what Jesus gives me. He gives me the strength to get every single day. He helps me converse with people in different ways. He helps me stop fucking killing people. That's fun. He helps me control my temper. He helps me be a better father. Yes, I still make my mistakes, but repent is so important. Like repentance, people don't get this. Like I say it like accountability. And I'm going on a bit of a tangent because I love Jesus, but
No,
accountability,
no, I wanted to give you the space because it's
yeah,
important.
definitely. Like accountability is so important, but it's very from the flesh. Like the flesh is like accountability. I've done wrong. Yeah, but you do it again. Do it again. Accountability and repentance are two different things. Repentance is turning away from sin, so it's changing your behavior in your heart. And I always say to people, the devil will always have your mind, but God just wants your heart. God doesn't want to change your mind. He's not manipulative. The devil is. He'll always try and change your mind. What's in here? He wants your heart. That's all he ever wants. He doesn't care if you've got tattoos, if you've made mistakes. Do you know what I mean? Some of the best pastors in the world, some of the best Christians in the world, yeah, come from the hardest fucking upbringing because the broken people will always have light shining through them. The people that try and concave this out that have no cracks, they don't want to show it, have no light. And that's what he's given me the stage for. As soon as I started to speak about Jesus, and you'll see it on my hashtags, I always put it there about Jesus. God's always first, Jesus, all the time, and just push it out there because it's the little seeds that matter. I don't push it, just little seeds.
Right, but that's beautiful, and I think, look, I just wanted to give you that space to wrap it up. I know it's such an important part of your life, and somebody who's been through so much as you, a really genuine, authentic man who's trying to help in the world, and this has helped you, and that faith and belief is really guide you. I can feel that, and that's why I think it's important for men out there to hear you describe that and say there's something here for you. You know, if you are struggling, there's somewhere to turn. Obviously, there's other places to turn, but this is something to turn that has helped you. Look at this guy here, been through the fucking shit, tough man, and he's describing this really well. So I wanted to give you that space because I think you describe it really well, brother. So look, I could talk to you all day. You're a fucking legend. I really, really appreciate you coming on, my brother, and hopefully we can stay in touch. Maybe do something again. I appreciate what you're putting out into the world. And I know there's a lot of people getting help by you, so thank you very much, brother.
The same as you, Ian. Like you're doing amazing stuff, bro. Thank you for connecting. Do you know what I mean? It will 100% cross paths at some point. Whether whenever you're back in England, let me know, or I'll come over there or whatever. Yeah, it'd be
Amazing.
amazing.
Thank you, my brother. Have a great day.